Good morning and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Sunday. It is October 20th, and it is really Carryover Sunday because it sounds like we've got carryovers all across the country. I guess there's a carryover over there at Aqueduct, there's a carryover at Keeneland, and there's a carryover at Santa Anita. Like playing the carryovers because, I think they're advantageous to the players when you've got that carryover amount. Good luck to you if you're going to play over at Aqueduct or over at Keeneland. I'm going to focus in on Santa Anita today and play the carryover there. And that starts in the third race at Santa Anita, which has approximate post time about 4 o'clock here Central Time, so 2 o'clock there in the Pacific Time Zone. So let's get started here with the Pick 6 carryover. So the third race is a 5.5 furlong dirt race. This is state bred, 50,000 maiden claimers. These are 3-year-olds and up. So there's some horses who, several have been knocking around for quite a bit, like the program favorite, Last Call Paul. That's the one horse. He's an 0 for 16 maiden with 7 seconds. So certainly those 7 seconds probably broke a lot of hearts. And, this horse runs well, but just doesn't get it done. Well, I'm going to go with that again. I'm going to leave Last Call Paul out of this. I've got 2 horses here that I want to put in here to get this pick 6 started. I'm going to go with the 3 horse for Peter Miller, Antonio Fresu. That's Big Gain. Actually, I'm sorry, Big Gain is your program favorite. Last Call Paul is your second choice. So Big Gain is the program favorite at 8-5. This horse has run twice, come second twice. Started his career early this year over at Santa Anita in one of those restricted maiden races, and came second. Obviously something happened. Sadler brought the horse over to Los Alamitos back a couple weeks ago when they ran there in September. Ended up running for $40,000, and Peter Miller claimed him. So, I feel it's tough to claim off Sadler, but if anyone could do it, it is probably Peter Miller, with his magic potions that he uses there, off claims. So anyway, I think that, this horse should be a factor here at 8-5. That's the 3 horse Big Gain. Then I've also got the 7 horse who is red on Sunday for Peter Miller. Now this is Peter Miller's other horse. This horse is 6-1 in the program. And this horse drops into a 50,000 claim. He'd been running in special weights, California bred special weights. And, running some even races. They tried him on the 5 furlong grass races, and I thought the horse ran respectably. They ended up putting this horse into a 50,000 claim when the Los Al meet came around. He did run with Last Call Paul. He ended up coming third. He got beat by Last Call Paul, but I'm going to forgive this horse in that race. They put the apprentice on the horse, Carmona, and Carmona has been riding pretty well at Santa Anita. It's tough to break into a jock colony. I know they'll give the apprentice jocks a chance here and there because they like the weight break, and Peter Miller is certainly a guy who's been known to do that. So he gives this horse over to Carmona. They take the blinkers off. I think this horse has a really good stalk and win type of trip here red on Sunday. So I'm going to put the 3 and the 7, and I'm also going to make a win bet on red on Sunday at 6-1. So we're going to put both Peter Millers, hoping for the higher price to beat the lower price. All right, now let's go to the next race of the day. That is the 4th race. 4th race is a 6.5 flat grass race. This is 25,000 condition claimers. And, these are your bottom rung turf horses over there in Southern California. Not going to talk too much about this race. Just going to put 3 horses here and hope to continue the pick 6. I got the 3 horse was 49er Gold for John Sadler. Sadler dropping this one into 25 claimers. This was a $200,000 California bred purchase, which, wow, that is a lot of money for a Calbred. Horses run some even races here. I guess they're just getting realistic. Horona's stable and Sadler are putting this horse in for 25. Tyler Bays takes the call. He's ridden this horse a couple times, so we'll put this one in. And I'll also put the 5 horse was New York Dreams. Excuse me. New York Dreams for Steve Knapp and Ricardo Gonzalez. Now, Gonzalez has been riding really well. He's won a few races over this past weekend, and I like the way he's been riding. So this horse, putting this horse in for 25. This horse has been running in condition claiming races. Has a very light record as far as turf, but certainly all these horses in this race do. This horse is 8-1. I just feel like this, people are going to overlook this horse because his last race was a non-starter. Horse didn't get out of the gate, and they declared him a non-starter. So I think people overlook him. I do like the horse's race over at Del Mar in a 50,000 starter allowance on the grass there at 5 furlongs. I thought he ran a nice even race. Could put him in play here at 8-1. Then I'm also going to put the 8 horse, who is Uncle John, for Peter Urton. Now, I've got Peter Urton in several races here in the pick 6. Urton, good trainer. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I know he had a tough Del Mar meet, and Santa Anita has not been really any better. But he's got his horses spotted pretty well today, I think. And the 8 horse Uncle John at 4-1. I like the Talamo off angle. Talamo, I didn't think was riding all that well this past summer. He's ridden this horse the last 3 times. They put Frey Sue on the horse, and Frey Sue certainly lifts the horse and seems to improve horses when he gets on them. So that's the 3, 5, and 8 I've got there in the 4th race. Now let's move over to the 5th race of the day. 5th race is a 6 furlong dirt race. This is for 2-year-old maidens, and this is this is a restricted maiden race. And basically, I think in layman's terms, it's freezing out Bob Baffert type horses in special weight. So I think they create this condition to give guys a chance to win races where you're not going to be going up against $1 million babies and $500,000 babies, and if you can't beat them, then you end up being a claimer. So this gives the horses a chance. These are horses that hadn't been purchased for $150 or more. They qualify. And if you did, get purchased for more than that, you could also join this race, but you'd be putting your horse in for a $62,500 claimer. So creative condition to try to, freeze out some of the big purchases and give people a chance to break their maiden. So I find this race kind of tough. I'm not exactly sure what to make of that, but I'm going to put 2 horses in. I'm going to put the 4 horse Maximus for Cesar D'Alba. Diego Herrera takes the call. Now, this horse has been working lights out over at Los Al, which is some really nice works. And, Cesar D'Alba is definitely a trainer that he's very capable. He gets a limited amount of starters. He was a quarter horse jock and one of those 870 around the hook jocks, and he's become a trainer, and he's become very good with speed horses from, what I've recalled. So I think, getting this horse out first time is, probably something that D'Alba is very good at. 6-1 Herrera. Let's see if they can get this horse out and go. That's the 4 horse Maximus. Then I'm also going to put the 9 horse, who is Irish Rebel, for Ryan Hansen. Tyler Bays takes the call. Now, Ryan Hansen, has had a pretty good Santa Anita, since the start of Santa Anita's meet. He was kind of cold over at Del Mar, but seems to have turned it on over at Santa Anita. This horse has some nice works at Santa Anita with a couple bullets, and he's 5-2. So, Hansen, good trainer, and I think Hansen does well with speed types. So, we'll see with this this horse, Irish Rebel. Being a 2-year-old, I think he does well with these kind of horses. So we've got the 4 and the 9 here. All right, let's move over to the next race. Next race is the 6th race. This is a mile on the grass, 3-year-olds and up boys, and this is 25,000 claimers. So again, these are your bottom rung horses here. Horses that probably at one time were pretty good, but just don't have that ability anymore, and some old timers, and just a mix up of horses here. So I've got 2 horses I want to put in here that I feel can keep the pick 6 going here. I've got the program favorite, who is the 4 Little Richards Bellow for Peter Urton, Juan Hernandez. Now, as I mentioned, I mentioned Urton did have some live horses today, and it seems like he's spotted them pretty well. We're going to see if a day like today gets Urton going and gets that barn going. But I think this horse certainly has run well at Santa Anita. I'm going to throw out this horse's last 2 races at Del Mar on the turf. This horse didn't run poorly at Del Mar, but I just feel like this horse will run better at Santa Anita. And, we've seen that now since the Santa Anita meet opened, where, some of these turf races at Del Mar just don't translate over to Santa Anita and vice versa. So, again, I'm going to throw out those 2 races. Even though I thought the horse ran some even races, I think he'll be better here at Santa Anita. And, 5-2, certainly no secret there, but I'm going to put in Little Richards Bellow. Then I'm also going to put in the 8 horse, who is Evening Sun for Jeff Mullins. Mullins puts Frey Sue on the horse, puts blinkers on as well. And, this horse is for a big outfit being, owned by Red Baron's Farm. They certainly have a lot of horses out there in Southern California. This horse is getting put into a $25,000 claim. it could be a panic drop. I'm not exactly sure here. This horse is definitely run with better. He had a long vacation. They brought this horse one time out at Del Mar back in August. He ran for 50. And, they had the waiver claim on the horse. So they didn't put this horse up for a claim. And, the horse didn't do great, but certainly just ran okay. So I think maybe just getting realistic here. Freysu, as I mentioned, certainly moves horses up and moves them up on the turf. So I think the 4 and the 8 being even sun, I think that should get the pick 6 continued. Let's move over to the next race. Now, the next race of the day is the 7th race. It's a mile on the dirt. This is a Calbred first level allowance race. This is for 3-year-olds, fillies, 3-year-olds and up. I've got 2 horses here, and I've also got a win bet as well. I'm going to go with the 1 horse who is Sharp Ride for Dean Pedersen. Abel Cedillo takes the call. Now, this horse, I like this horse at Del Mar a couple of times that she ran. And, she ran even races, didn't get it done. But, she ended up getting beat twice by a horse named Wish They All Could Be, who seemed to be razor sharp over there at Del Mar, winning 2 races there in the California allowance ranks. Now, I think that the move to 2 turns should be no problem here. This horse is by Clubhouse Ride out of a Thorn Song mare, Secret Thorn. And we've seen some siblings of Secret Thorn do pretty well in the cow ranks. And Dean Pedersen, Dean Pedersen's been around for a long time, but he's a sharp trainer, and he's really had some nice wins, lately. So I like this horse, 7-2. Going to put a win bet on the 1 horse Sharp Ride. I'm also going to put the 5 horse in, Stop Digging. Simon Callahan, Juan Hernandez, and Callahan training for Redham Stables. Now, we've seen Callahan win races for Redham over the years. As I've mentioned, you might recall, I'm not the biggest Callahan fan. I think Callahan just, gets really good stock and doesn't win as much as he should for the stock he gets. But, this horse certainly fits. I do like her last couple races. Her last race in particular, she ran second to a really sharp horse and Run a Mile in My Shoes. That was a mile on the dirt. Run a Mile in My Shoes, took the lead, ended up wiring the field, which a lot of horses did at Del Mar. She ended up coming second and running a nice second there. Mario Gutierrez was on the horse. They make the jock switch to Hernandez, which I feel is a big, big positive. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Gutierrez, but he's not been riding too well. And, the switch to Hernandez certainly will improve this horse. So I've got the 1 and the 5 here to continue the pick 6. Now let's go to the last race of the day. Last race of the day is the 8th race. This is a maiden special weight. These are 2-year-old fillies, 6.5 on the grass. Now this is the flat grass course. So, some nice horses, some nice purchase prices. I've got a single here. I'm going to go in with the favorite here, who is Margarita Gal, 6-5 in the program. This is a big purchase. Horse cost over $500,000 for Mark Glatt. This horse came out first time over at Del Mar in late August, was 3-5 that day and ran up against a buzzsaw in non-compliant. I thought this horse ran a really nice race. Big speed figure for a first-timer. And non-compliant was just too good for her that day. And we ended up seeing non-compliant end up winning the Oak Leaf. So non-compliant will probably be one of your first, favorite, second favorite in the Breeders' Cup filly and mare, 2-year-old race. So I think that, Margarita Gal, certainly there's no shame in coming second and non-compliant. They're bringing her over to the turf, which really shouldn't be a problem. She's by Twirling Candy out of an Uncle Mo mare. And, that screams turf. So, as we see a lot of Twirling Candies win on the grass in Southern California. And, looks to me like I'm going to try to make it simple and just single the 8 Margarita Girl. All right, now let's recap here in the pick 6. So in the pick 6, which starts in the 3rd race, we've got the 3-7 with, the 3-5-8 with, the 4-9 with, 4-8 with, 1-5 with, and single the 8 on the end. That's Margarita Gal. And then we've got the 2. So that pick 6 ticket ends up being $96. I think it's worth playing, with your carryover $96 ticket. And then also have the 2 win bets. In the 3rd race, I've got the 7. And in the 7th race, I've got the 1. So win bets there. So, if you see fit, you want to jump in as is, please do so. If you want to add or subtract, you do what fits you. I just wish you the best of luck on what decisions you end up making. So, as always, best of luck today to all the viewers, subscribers, listeners. Wishing you the best. Hope we get some great trips, because great trips will result in great luck and wins. And let's wish the folks over at Santa Anita a great, safe day of racing. So as always, I do appreciate you watching. Please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, just gets you on the feed. When new content comes up, it gets served up to you. So I'd appreciate that. Like, dislike, make comments. We can create a discussion. I promise to respond to everything. So let's make it a great day at Santa Anita, the great race place, and good luck in the Pick 6.